Very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bhakti, and I lead the customer success segment at ORAI Robotics. It's a pleasure to host the ORAI top 5 trends on how WhatsApp conversational AI is evaluating sales and digital marketing performance. Today, I would say we have the best arrangement with the eminent speakers, Mr. Suraj, director at Vashi Electricals, and national and international participants to discuss the most pressing questions. Let me quickly share the participants' guidelines of the webinar. The webinar is a live webinar, and the webinar will be recorded for you to have and you will have the access to the same by tomorrow. You can ask the questions with the speakers in the Q&A session on your right. The same will be answered in the end of the webinar. For any issues, queries, questions, and challenges you find the contact details in the Q&A session, you can feel free to reach out to us. Please feel free to have even the conversation over there, as once the webinar starts, we will not be able to pause. So hope everyone is set and we can begin the session with 229 live participants so far. Over to you, Mr. Swapnil Jain.
Very good evening, everyone. It's a wonderful weather going out there in Bangalore. So messaging first and the customer-centric approach is taking the center stage for all the businesses today. Considering 2 billion users on WhatsApp and around 1.3 billion users on Facebook Messenger, they have become the best platform to bridge the gap between the businesses, enterprise, and the potential customers. The AI conversation and the conversational AI is taking the center. I mean, today we are gonna talk upon key problems the industry is facing and how are they planning to overcome these. Today, as Bhakti already said, we have Mr. Suraj along with us who's going to talk about it.
As per our next speaker panel, I want to introduce Mr. Suraj, who is a director of Vashi Electricals and alumni of FMB program from SPJMR in 2007. With Mr. Suraj, we have implemented ORAI platform a couple of months back, and he is one of our customer who is using the whole platform extensively. So I request Mr. Suraj to come on board and have a quick discussion with our participants and try to explain or try to share the experience with our participants. Mr. Suraj.
Yeah, thank you, Sujit, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience of collaborating with ORAI and moving to an AI-based omni-channel platform, which we initiated in the month of August, and which we see is the defining future, given the way digitalization is taking over the world, and more of us are not meeting in person. Having bots managing a lot of basic queries from our customers was a need of the hour, and that's where we felt that the channel of communication with our customers had to change, and it could no longer depend on face-to-face interactions or broken emails communication alone, because customers today want instant gratification. If they have a query, they want an answer to it. They might start discussion on our website, then they might move to Facebook, because they might be moving across the social network and they would still want to have a thread continuing the conversation across different platforms. That's where we felt that the ORAI platform was very useful for us, because it became like an omni-channel conversation assistant or a bot that could answer the query of the client irrespective the medium through which he came in. Like we all know, in India, WhatsApp is the most prominent channel of communication, and the ease with which we were able to use WhatsApp as the platform of communicating most of the regular queries of our clients. the first phase when we moved through this implementation, our objective was that the telephonic conversations that the customers were used to, things like, do you have something in stock? What is the status of my order? Who is the sales guy from your company who's associated with me? Can I have his mobile number? Very, very basic questions. If he had a customer service issue, he wanted to give a feedback about something. So we listed around 8-10 of such questions, and we decided to move all of them onto WhatsApp. And we found it to be extremely useful because it brought down the telephone calls that we received by over 20%. It increased our inquiries from clients because WhatsApp is such an intuitively easy tool that everybody is used to in India now. We found that inquiries went up by over 10%. And everything was just at a click of a button. People didn't have to actually wait for an email to go out. Then there was someone who will respond after a few hours. Here things were just moving immediately. Based on their question, there were preset answers, or we also had integrations with our other platforms like SAP and Salesforce, which gave the customer instant answers to the queries that they were raising. So we believe that this is the future, and partnering with ORAI has given us the ability to move in this direction. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Suraj, what do you think? Where are or do you face any challenge to implement WhatsApp Conversation AI in the adopting process or in a adopting phase?
No, actually, the way your tool, the ORAI tool is designed, that I mean, even if you're not into coding and it is just drag and drop, and it's a matter of few days that my team at Vashi was able to get used to it, and they were able to make their own design their own conversation flow with very little support required by your team, Sujit.
Yeah, okay. And what was, if you look at the business objective, before WhatsApp Business API comes into picture, what you have thought of, what was your business objective when you thought of let's implement WhatsApp Business API, and how those objectives being fulfilled, if you can put a little bit light on it.
Yeah, like I said, one of our key reasons to get WhatsApp on board was to replace telephonic conversations and in-person conversations, especially for day-to-day basic queries like can I get a quotation for a particular inquiry? What is the status of my order? Things which our people were also dependent on our ERP, which is SAP, at the back end to answer to the client. We felt that why not just connect the two and let the system take over and the bot take over and give the answers directly to our customers without human interaction being required. So these were the basic goals and objectives with which we started the phase 1 of our implementation.
And what you think currently the turnaround time, if the customer lands up to a API or a WhatsApp, versus past versus now, what do you think the turnaround time or the efficiency is being increased with the API or with help of this technology?
So there are two aspects to it. I mean, if the client or if the customer is able to start the conversation in the right manner and ask, because we have to keep on training the bot. So we are still in the phase of training the software, but if he is able to fall in line and and the bot is able to understand his query very easily, then it's a matter of a couple of minutes he gets the answer to his query. But if for some reason the things breaks off and then it goes into the manual mode of conversation, which is also inbuilt into the solution, even then the solution is not difficult. But if I compare it to what it was before, it is at least, I would say, 5% of the time of what it used to take us before we had the bot implemented.
And how about the data collection? Because end of the day, most of there's a question which hovers around in the QA. What about the data collection? Earlier you might be using web forms and other mediums to collect the user data. how this is happening currently with AI. This is one of a question which is asked.
So again, the same, it's similar, right? Through the WhatsApp conversation medium, we still have fields inside the bot which collects the data, and that is available to us for marketing purpose. Like the way there are web forms, WhatsApp has a conversation-based form through which the same can be achieved.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So to enlighten it a little bit for the audience, what we have done with Mr. Suraj and Vashi Electricals, like traditionally we have web forms, which collects the data from web. Similarly, in the conversation way, you can ask certain questions to the user, and basically look for what they want from you as a business. You collect the data, and as Mr. Suraj said, it's being integrated currently with the CRM as well as SAP. So the data straight away goes back to this application, and henceforth, if the call center team or the support team requires to respond on that, they immediately respond. As and when, if the bot thinks that can be answered automatically, those answer is given within the same platform.
I have a question, Suraj sir, very quick. Two interesting data point what you have mentioned. The one data point what you have mentioned that around 20% of the work offload of the customer success team or customer support team is reduced, and around 10% increase in the inquiries compared to before the conversational AI implementation. Have there any impact seen on sales amplification?
Any impact on the conversion?
Any impact on the conversion, so direct sales, which has helped increase the sales as well?
I mean, the kind of business that we are in, if the number of inquiries grows, there is also a delta effect on the business that comes in. So yeah, definitely there is an impact on the top line also. Not to the extent of 10%, but we are seeing. So we separately track the business that has come through leads that come in from a digital platform. So we right. Consider web, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. So these are our digital platform initiatives. So all leads that come in from that platform, we track them separately, and we are seeing that the turnaround, the conversion ratio of this platform is improving over the last 2 months.
I'm sure, definitely, because it's a very, it's a kickstart, and definitely, as you started with, that omni-channel is the strategy for the future, and the day we have all the omni-channel strategy implemented, it will have a bigger impact on the overall sales as well. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. That's all from my end. Sujit, you can move ahead.
Yeah, Swapnil, now it's over to you. I don't see any further question right now asked by any of our participants.
Right. So interestingly, I think the entire topic today was to disclose or to reveal the trends which WhatsApp-powered conversational AI and can help businesses to amplify sales and marketing, and that's where the entire topic was. So why not I quickly give you that 5 top secrets and trends which a business can implement today and start gaining the benefit out of the conversational AI, right? So the point number 1, amplifying with this, amplifying market and sales conversations with omni-channel strategy. So the one thing I would like to urge every business owners is please study and learn about the omni-channel strategies, and you have to implement it, because there's a much difference between the omni-channel and the multi-channel strategy. There were the times where the multi-channel strategy was working, but now we have to do omni-channel, which is customer centric, right? That's point number 1. Point number 2. Okay, so hold on. So this is just go back. Yeah, this is a place if you just wanted to know that how the omni-channel strategy can help in the customer-centric environment. I mean, if you see the customer sits in the center of it, you can connect the customers over the transactions, purchase histories. You can have onboard marketing, call center getting connected directly to the omni-channel strategies, right? On the right-hand side, if you see videos getting connected, loyalty programs can be connected. And what we are talking here right now, all these channels can get connected with your WhatsApp. So it's not that WhatsApp API have a function just to send the transaction message and all. But if the effective strategy is implemented with all the possible channels, you will see the amplification at all the ends. That's where the omni-channel strategy has to be seen very carefully. Going to point number 2, when we talk about the automation side of it, so automating the customer journey and the engagement with the WhatsApp drip campaigns is becoming very, very helpful. And this is pretty new. I mean, today, whenever I talk to top CEOs across the industry, in automobile, maybe the healthcare, maybe real estate, or maybe the education, all the CXOs, CMOs, and chief marketing officer, this is something which is absolutely new. Drip campaign, everyone knows about it. We have been in the habit of doing a SMS drip campaign, or probably the email drip campaign is the biggest one, marketing automation. But WhatsApp drip campaign has 70% higher open rate than emails, 60% more sales funnels growth possible, 50% reduction in follow-up, which helps in cost and time, giving a better cost and saving a cost, and also a time to the team, so that a team can work more on the closer side rather than just the operational and nurturing side of it. So this is one very, very important techniques or trend you should be applying to your business. The third most important is improving customer experience with real-time 3-way communication. I mean, we all have heard about, right, that the bot sometimes reply and it's not the answer what the customer was looking, and the customer gets pissed off, right? I mean, we have to avoid these kind of scenarios. How do you typically avoid this is where the platform should allow you to have a 3-way conversation, that till the time the questions are asked and bot is able to respond, the conversation, or basically the human agent, would not know about it. The moment there is any single question unanswered, immediately there are triggers where the human agent can take up the calls, and the experience becomes streamless. So that's one important to implement the 3-way communication. Then we move forward to our point number 4. So point number 4 is qualifying leads in the real time with AI predictive intelligence. And this is where the platform is helping a big time. I mean, if you see, typically one major data point which I wanted to actually show you, the center row, the first point, 4.8 minutes average interaction per user. I mean, typically we all see in our websites, and you can go to your SEO teams and ask that, what is the average time of an individual who comes to your website and spend the time? Typically you'll see it in a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes to the max. But when a conversational AI is implemented along on the website as well, this is a real-time trend. What we are seeing, that around 4.8 minutes is a time spent by the users having a conversation going with you over the WhatsApp plus bot methodology, right? In the certain cases, I have taken this data right from the top customers of where we are working. From the leads overall generated, the average conversion ratio has picked up to around 22% from the 5% conversion ratios from the digital. And that's a huge jump. That's a huge ROI. So if this technology can help you do that, I mean, absolutely adopt a predictive intelligence which can forecast the sales for you. The next big thing which you need to look upon is the conversational ads. Now, when we talk about the conversational ads using WhatsApp, and which Mr. Suraj also talked about, that, hey, going with a conventional way of filling up the forms, we have just changed it. I mean, this is a master stroke. If this is done, your ads starts performing 200 times or more better. How do we do it? I think let's go live. I go to Sujit. I ask Sujit to basically show us this use case. He is the best person to show us that how the conversational ads can change the entire digital performance and help us amplify the marketing efforts. Sujit, over to you.
Sure, love to do that. What I'm gonna do is quickly about to share my screen and try to give you a real-time live experience. So what you are seeing right now is basically my phone screen. And what I want to do, try to show you what is a conversation ads and where the world is moving towards. You know, they are going away from static ads and moving towards a conversation ads. Before showing my demo, I just want to tell our audience that why it is important to have a conversation ads compared to the static and traditional ads. See, the problem currently all industry is facing with the current ad systems, which we are doing either in Google, either in Facebook or Instagram, we always try to take away customer from one platform to another. What I mean by is basically, if you look at Google Ads, typically Google Ads, when somebody try to search a particular product or particular information, the Google Ads comes in top of it. And once the user clicks that ad, either the user push to a landing page or a product specific page where the information is given. So we call it as a static ad, where basically taking away the user from the platform where the user is searching for to your own product pages or to your own platform. If I talk about the similar experience in form of Facebook, because in Facebook or Instagram, these platforms are very rigorously used for ad and campaigns. If we are talking about any type of a lead gen ads or ad, when somebody either search across or because of the target campaigns, the ad is being coming to you or it's being displayed to you. Once you click this ad, again, the user, if I'm the user and I am looking for a specific car. So recently I was doing a little bit of, research on a new model which Mercedes has launched. And because of my search, Facebook promotes that ad to me. Now, once I click that ad, there can be two scenarios happen. Either I will be asked to fill a lead information, the small form, or I will be pushed to one of our landing page where the product information is there. And then I will be asked all my information there to fill up. So now if you look at the experience wise, is basically the user is being pushed from one platform to other platform, and then the user themselves needs to actually scroll for the content or scroll for all the information which is mentioned in the page or either any form of layouts or if there is a PDF. So we need to actually search for that content which I'm looking for. Now, what is the difference between the static ads and conversation ads? So that's what I'm going to show you. Now, let's assume if you all see my phone, I tabbed my Instagram. So I'm just about to click my Instagram. My Instagram opens. As I said, I was doing one of a research of a Audi car, specifically, let's say GLC model. Because of that, I am being targeted in Instagram or the campaign or the ad is being promoted to me. I can see this ad. Similarly, in case of a Facebook, the same thing happens. Now, this time, once I see the ad and I want to tap this, the whole information is immediately moved to WhatsApp. So if you have seen the transition is basically from the specific ad of Instagram, all the conversation is basically moved to your brand's WhatsApp account. And with help of ORAI, the whole conversation is being built within that. So now the user not need to install any application, not need to actually search for an information. All the information is given to the user over their WhatsApp. Very interestingly, now what a business gets out of it? A business gets a verified contact because it's a user's authorized WhatsApp number. A business gets a direct contact of the user because the business is now connected with over a WhatsApp. And if business decides to send any type of information to the user, this is very much possible over WhatsApp now because the customer is right now connected with the business over the WhatsApp. And this is the business's authorized WhatsApp account. Now, as a user or as a consumer or as a customer, I can ask any type of a question. Like I can see it talks about that it understands me, it knows me because of the profile which is available in Instagram. And because it understands that I am looking for GLC 200 very specifically. So it understands the user information. It even understands the choice what user made in these platforms. And all the information ORAI sends to this customer over our own WhatsApp channel. Now, here, what the user can do, if I want to more about this, I want to know, what are the different color variants available. I can type in color variants. I can put a voice command if required, but I'm a little bit lazy. So I said, I don't want to type. There's an option given one. I just move in this way, typing one. But yeah, ORAI understands all the different type of a language. It is built in lingual dictionaries. So if the user talks in any regional languages, that's also being supported by ORAI. So you can see, meanwhile, as I was talking, all the color option is being immediately sent to me. I can select upon these color options, or if I'm not satisfied, I can go for a test drive. I can book a car service. I can look for more features. So let's assume I say, yeah, can you just show me more features? So I just quickly typed 4 and I move across. Now, based on the user behavior or user inputs, ORAI understands the pattern of user data requirement. So now ORAI knows that user is looking for more information. So immediately a video is being pushed to his or her WhatsApp. So let's see what is this video all about. So now, very interestingly, this is the same product video which is being sent to me. So now if you look at the content perspective, ORAI has a flexibility or power to send any type of information starting from video, text, images, PDF files, all in one place. And as and when user looks for, or as and when as a business we decide to float those contents. Now I quickly go back to my demo. Now if you noticed, till now certain type of a content is being pushed, like an image, set of informations, set of videos, set of links is being sent if I want to download the PDF as well, and any point of a time that is also being sent. Now let's assume there was a question which is being asked, that how the user data is being collected over WhatsApp. Because end of the day, if I'm doing a lead gen activity, important for me to understand the user information or get the user data. So let's assume I say I'm looking for a test drive. So I pressed 1. And immediately ORAI, by the way, knows me because of my profile, says, Sujit, when would you like to book a test drive? By the way, I'm in Google Drive. I cannot use my voice command. So I'm in a Google Meet to share this screen. So I can't use the voice command. So I'll take a little bit help of my keypad and try to write tomorrow. I haven't provided any date, by the way. I just said tomorrow. Now, ORAI being fitted with NLP, it understands what date it's being talking about or what date is being told. And I say, yeah, can you just book something at 11 a.m. and done. This information, and very interestingly, the phone number is not being asked. Because I'm being connected over WhatsApp, so my WhatsApp number is being immediately picked and sent back to the business that, hey, this is Sujit. who want to basically have a test drive for GLC 200 tomorrow at 11 a.m. This information is being immediately sent to the business. And being we were discussing, ORAI is having a tight integrations with CRM as well as any legacy systems which any of the business is using for the lead management systems. All this information is being pushed back to their system. Not only that, ORAI has a further power to even validate the user data. So if I look at quickly, I'm not refreshing this page. If I refresh, my latest information will come. So I don't want to do that. Now, if you look at, in this case, when Bhakti was talking through Facebook, the email didn't came. So it understands that this is not the right medium to talk about. And if you look at Shikha, there was an email which is provided, and ORAI further goes to validate whether this email exists or not. So ORAI has a further integrations with global DNS providers as well as telecom providers to figure out whether the phone number or the information either which is fed into any of this social network or which is provided by the users are even valid or not. So it does those all validation. Now, as we all are talking about, how the three-way communication is being dealt, and till now, whatever you have seen in my screen is being answered by ORAI, a virtual agent, inheritably. Now, if there are certain questions where we think that our sales team needs to be responding or our customer support team needs to be responding as a human chat, is it possible? So the answer is yes. ORAI has a further power to integrate and make a conversation a three-way conversation. When we say three-way conversation, it's basically customer versus a virtual agent and along with a live agent. So now I'm quickly go back to my panel. And if I see till now, Sujit has inquired about, so I just opened this for interest of the time. Now you can see Sujit have asked all this question and my agent see all the information that, hey, Sujit is, talked about this, looked upon car, all this, and the whole analysis is available for Sujit. He asked, at any point of a time, I can click a live chat and there will be one-on-one chat with a live agent with the customer will be enabled. And the customer will be getting all the information or all the conversation in their WhatsApp, be it they are coming from any of the platform. Now, quickly, how it looks for. So I'll quickly walk you through a couple of information in our dashboard. Now, as we talk about more of a channel, which is, it has to be Omni platform. So any point of a time, if I look at, you will get that which of my channel is performing better. Like this is one, this quick dashboard. It tells about how my agents are working, from where the major of the information is coming, or which users are trying to connect from which of the platforms. If I scroll down a little bit, it tells me right now WhatsApp is a very prominent one till now in couple of hours. So I have filtered it based on last 3 hours. This is basically our ORAI bot, which is plugged in our website. And I extracted the data for last 3 hours. I can see the interaction of WhatsApp is more compared to Facebook, and then the web, and then the Telegram. So these are the primary channels where customer is trying to interact with me. And if I go a little bit down, I also see what are the inbound call requests coming, or what are the calls which is coming to my help desk or support team within last 12 hours and how it's being resolved. So whether the last 12 hours was the more users trying to connect with me or within the last 1 hour. So I can see within last 1 hour, there are a lot of interaction happening with my customer support team. Not only this, it also gives us analysis that how many is being assigned, how many is being resolved, what's the status right now, how my support team is working. Now, if I just want to shift a little bit of dimension now, if I change my window slightly, I was talking about a live chat. Now, any point of a time, you can see which all the users are having a chat, the complete conversation. So I picked up Sujit because this is what the live chat we are talking about, what the conversation happened, and Sujit's information immediately and coming from which city, which country, and what IP address. So ORAI picks up this information, try to understand the behavior of the user, and even further goes that Sujit was trying to connect with ORAI in which other platform. So from Facebook, from Telegram, and as well as web, as well as WhatsApp. So these are the three different platforms where Sujit is trying to connect, and all the conversation is available in one place to see and access around. So it helps, first of all, to profile a customer for you. A single profile is being created, as well as once the call is being shifted towards the help desk or towards your customer care or customer support team, they see the complete picture together in one place. They see whether Sujit was trying to ask which question from which platform. All the algorithms works in the background to understand the taste of Sujit, what type of product he was visiting, and gives this information back to your sales team. So that's where Omni-channel and ORAI plugging together helps you in sales as well as in marketing world in current scenario. Over to you, Swapnil.
Well, very interesting. I think it was really interesting observations and the points made by you, Sujit. It was a wonderful session, and in the end, I would actually like to thank you all for attending this webinar. I'd like to tell you, like, the future is already there with the messenger first approach, and we have to adopt as soon as possible the customer centric approach, right? Here is a quick offer for the people, those who are interested. I mean, we would like to enable your company with the conversational AI to enhance customer outreach and engagements. If the businesses are interested to get more details about it, here is a QR code. Just send us your details, scan it, fill up the quick details, and we would get back to you for further more details. So that's all from our end in this particular webinar in the session. And thank you, Mr. Suraj, for sparing the time and sharing your insights at how the next modern marketing conversational AI is trending up and showcasing and delivering the amplification on sales and marketing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.